Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Zo Talks. This is the show where we talk about all things mental health. We focus on adolescents, the mental health industry, and the education industry. This is a show where we want to discuss all things difficult. What are some of the burning questions on your mind that you want to talk about?
I'm Christina. I'm from Zoala, and we're a generative AI tech startup company.
And I'm Joanna. I'm from wwyd, a youth counseling center.
And joining us today is a very special guest, Sharinder. Sharinder, thank you so much for taking the time out today to join us for our Teacher Day podcast. We're doing this episode today to celebrate Teachers' Day, and we thought it'd be really nice to bring in a school counselor because we feel that they're a bit underrepresented, but they do so much for the students, they do so much for the teachers as well, and they're just as much educators as any other. Sharinder was a school counselor. She stepped back. She's taking a little bit of rest from being a school counselor because she has a 7-month baby girl. So congratulations, Sharinder.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Sharinder, for joining us today. And let's jump right in.
So maybe to kick off this conversation, we wanted to ask you, what are some of the joys that you have in your experience as a school counselor?
Wow, there's like so many. Like I think maybe the first one up at the top of my head is basically journeying with the students. Upon from the time you see them till they graduate, and you can actually track how far they've come. And you know this when they give you those heartfelt thank you messages and they write it or they make you something really, really cute stuff they have. And especially those hugs when they give you to say like, thank you, you made a difference in my life. That's the top for me. And the other bits I would say is also the teachers, because sometimes they're so stressed, and then when they know someone's partnering with them, you can just see the relief on their face. And that's, I don't know, I don't think words can really express it when you work with someone and you know that you're making a difference and you're helping them. And the best one is of course my team, the team of counselors, because without them, I mean, I have to be honest, I don't have Monday blues or whatsoever because I've got the best team and it's amazing. So yeah. And of course learning from everyone, even the students. Like being in a school, working in a school is really a privilege because you learn so much more from everybody. I mean, the latest gaming trends or even texting trends, I know that because the students are my life. So through them, I remain really young. So yeah, so many things.
Nice. And Sharinder, there's always the good and the bad. Can you share with us some of your challenges or some of your pain points that you experienced?
I think with anything to do with school setting, budget's always a pain point or something that can improve, and hopefully in time more funds can be available because then the counseling team can do a whole lot more with it. Another thing that I really feel it's one of the pain point I would say would be there isn't enough time to see everyone in depth. Like, basically the job of a school counselor sometimes is really like just band-aid. You fix a band-aid and then you keep on going because there's just so much to do. It'd be really good if, let's say, we could actually spend a lot more quality time or see more students in that sense. So that's really sad sometimes. And especially like when you come across families that clearly are looping in those generational trauma, you can see the struggles the parents have has moved on over to the children. And you just need the extra time, the extra slower pace to help the parents because you can really see the parents want to connect with their teen. They want to make a difference. But they just don't know how. They've never been equipped on the skills of communicating and understanding the demands a teenager will be going through or, a child will be going through. Every stage of it requires a different type of parenting. And it's really sad because, I mean, you can do workshops and all, but there's just so much to cover to help someone. And like the other bit that I feel personally, like in a school setting, counseling doesn't just need to be for pain and challenges or someone just because someone's struggling. Counseling can actually be used to help strengthen the strengths of students. And if we can strengthen the strengths, so if we can strengthen the strengths of our students, we have so much better humans, adults later on. And that makes a big difference because if you think about it, no one really taught us how to do emotional regulation or social thinking, social skills. And these are all gaps that are very important for life skills that if we had more time or, more support, then these are things that can actually be taught in schools and make a difference. So yeah, those are just the challenges of, such a great thing, but not enough resource to deliver it. Yeah.
Mm.
But hopefully it'll change in future.
Do you find during your experience that you have noticed a change in the right direction?
I do believe so, especially I think after COVID, there's a lot of mental awareness talk. That whole thing just mushroomed up and everybody's all on it, everybody's familiar with it. And also I think with the younger generation being more aware and also the use of technology, they have everything on their hands. They can find information. They'll probably come to you like, I have checked this on this website, da 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 da. I think I have this, you know. So and they've actually been more forward. And because we've actually welcomed conversations about it, I do see a lot more students coming up for support on their own versus compared to some time ago, I would say. So yeah, fingers crossed, you know, we get to that point where it's normal. There's no stigma. It's okay to not be okay.
Yes, and
Mm.
hopefully with more and more that we talk about this, it just gets better and better, as you mentioned. Yeah.
Right. And you mentioned a lot of good points about how there were certain challenges as a school counselor, and as well as for teenagers who are battling with mental health problems. Do you have any tips or suggestions, not just for teenagers actually, but also perhaps for teachers as well, on how they could do, on things that they could do actually to improve their mental health?
Okay, so I think from my perspective and my personal view, I think the very, very first step is just changing the view of mental health. Like everyone is making a hoo-ha about it, but maybe it's also okay for us to see mental health similar to daily hygiene.
Mm.
So, I mean, you're not likely to skip brushing your teeth, right? Like that's something, bad breath and, you know, bad mood or feelings are also not very welcoming. So if we can actually have that perspective that mental health and your personal hygiene, your daily hygiene is something that you prioritize, then I think things can be different. So like this is an example I like to use with the people I work with, like, you know, your oral health. We all know that digestion first takes place in our mouth and we want to make sure that's healthy. And from there, it leads to gut health. And then now new research is also saying your gut health leads to brain health. And that's my buy-in. Like you want to get smarter, get your gut going better. You can think better, you can feel better. Your all your hormones and stuff starts off from there. So similarly in the same way, just having awareness of yourself, your mood, is really a great way to know. Like if you know, like you have awareness, like, oh, today I'm feeling a 7 out of 10 energy, you can then take steps to know what should you do differently. Or if you're a 4. So I mean, there's this concept of tolerance cap. So if you know your tolerance cap, your ability to tolerate something is reaching its maximum. So you can actually do the steps to self-care it. And the other bit that I just want to say, self-care does not, I mean, yes, having a massage, going for a medi-pedi, or, you know, doing those extravagant thing is amazing. But self-care can also be something physical, like, you know, your physical health, or something as simple as communicating your boundaries, not only to someone else, but to yourself. Sometimes we don't put boundaries for ourselves and we overindulge. So just having that shift in perspective that, oh, these are all little steps that help my mental well-being, my mental health, or emotional health, it can be really, really good. And the permission to do nothing. I think that's something that in the Asian context, we're so focused on be hurry up, do things fast, get it done. There's some sort of a race, but to just slow down, to, you know, have that mental timeout is such a good self-care you can do. So those would be something I would say someone can do. And if someone really wants to try something, if they want to go one step further, I would strongly suggest maybe start a book of wins. The concept behind this is basically you just jot down 3 things that you're proud of yourself. So similar to gratitude, in gratitude, you're kind of looking at, oh, I'm grateful for this happening in my life and that. But in the books of win, I call it, is you are appreciating yourself. And it's just giving you yourself the permission to value you the way you are, however you are in this current moment, whichever way. Because we sometimes are so used to doing everything for everyone else. We don't think about, you know, oh, how much have I done for myself or showed up? So I would actually even dare challenge you, like, you know, go as tiny, as small as you can appreciate. Like, you know, can you appreciate yourself that you woke up and brushed your teeth today? You know, because sometimes we take it for granted. Oh yeah, I just did, that's normal. But that's actually hard work. That's actually an active choice to do something for yourself. So yeah, go do that. And hopefully over time, like I have a book of wins for myself. And I've seen that over time, to look at the Sharinder who was back then, and now I've changed so much. So I think Dan Sullivan is the one who says it, but it's measuring the gains and not the gap. And if we all can start appreciating how much we've gained, then we're not going to be beating ourselves up, and our critical voice is not going to, be so loud in our head as much, I hope. Because I used to have a very strong critical voice, but now that's actually really quite soft. So yeah, that would be a thing. And if someone is really, really, very enthusiastic and wants to go even one step further, the best way I would say is if you look up online, there's the wellness wheel. So it's like the concept of a tire. It shows you the different domains of your life, how you're doing it. And then just use that as a check-in to see, is there any like flat tire portion of your life that could do better? And I will be honest, even I myself as a counselor with all this knowledge and stuff, the last that I did my check-in, yeah, there are certain areas and domains in my life that is a little bit more flat, I would say, and can have room for improvement. And to also give the permission, you're never going to have a perfect wheel. Some wheel will be a bit softer, some wheel will be quite full. So it's just, rotating it in a way if you want to. So this yeah, I would say these are things that be it teenagers or teachers can do. Have your awareness of yourself. And let me see. Oh, the very, very final one would be it's always okay to reach out for support. So if one counselor style doesn't fit you, find another, because it's similar to like having going for a hairstylist that understands you, or finding that nice shoe. Sometimes it just doesn't fit. There's no explanation. Just try something else, or find, if not a counselor, find someone else to give you support. Yeah, always go for support. So
Right. And I think that last point
that's
was,
more than enough.
yeah, you gave a lot of very good advice. But especially that last point is quite relevant, because I have heard a lot of stories of people who take that courage to find and speak with someone, and after one experience where it wasn't such a good fit, they kind of
dismiss it.
Yeah, they kind of didn't have the courage again to try with another person, or sometimes they even thought that they're not someone who can be helped, but that's not the case. It's just sometimes about the fit, that rapport with the person that you see. But yeah, so thank you for sharing all those. They were really good advice.
And the hairstylist analogy is great for someone to consider, that a stylist, one stylist compared to the other, you connect with them in a different way. So trying out yeah. And so okay, I feel like there's 3 good take-home messages here. I especially love that self-care, that you've introduced something that I've never ever heard before, that it also includes your own boundaries, and knowing your boundaries and applying those boundaries. So that's a great one. I'm definitely gonna remember that for myself. And the second one was about the book of wins. There was a wheel of
wellness.
Wellness.
Yes, I think all of these amazing resources we'll probably put down as well in the comment section. Sorry, in the information section of like YouTube and Spotify, so all of our viewers can access it. These are great tips from Sharinder that we're sharing with you. And the fourth one, definitely, that it's not one size fit all, and make sure that, yes, give yourself the time and try it out over a period of time with different people if one doesn't work for you. That's amazing. And I suppose to finish off for the day, for this episode, is there any last happy good teacher moments that you'd like to share with us?
Wow, there is so many. Okay, I think the one that really made me realize that I know I was in the right field of working with students would be, okay, I mean, I've had the privilege of working for kids who are in kindergarten right up through JC. And my favorite one was a kid learning to ride a bicycle. And I supported him on how to ride a bicycle. And that face glow when he was able to ride that bicycle was it's just something that, yeah. When you ask me, that's a thought in my head. Like, that is still one of my top few favorites, I would say. So yeah,
Amazing.
we make a difference, like a life skill. Yeah.
So was that experience within school, the bicycle?
So it was a kindergarten kid. So during playtime, they had access to bicycles and tricycles. And because this kid was in K1, usually they only use tricycle, but this kid was insistent like bicycle. And I was like, okay, fine, come, let's try it. And then I think it took us a couple of weeks. And then one day, boom. And that face, that joy, like, whoa. But yeah, it's so sick. Yeah.
That's so nice. And I bet the parents would have loved you for that as well. That not just, because when my kids get to that age, it's almost daunting trying to teach them how to ride a bicycle. But yeah, at school, through you, they learned how to. So I bet the parents are also loving you for that. Among
They were.
many things that you do
Mm.
for your students that you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, happy Teachers Day to all the educators, to everyone that works with students, and also to the parents who are the first teachers for their children in so many ways. So, yay!
Yay. And thank you again, Sharinder, for coming in and sharing with us more about your experience and giving us such helpful advice. We hope to our listeners that it was really helpful for you guys to hear in more about her experience and understanding some of the joys and also the challenges of someone who had school counseling experience. So yeah, thank you guys again for tuning into this episode. If you liked it, share, like, subscribe to find out more for more episodes of Zoala.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, Sharinder. Have a good day,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.